Hello and welcome to our children's virtual program, Book Tasting. Our new book for this week is called Operation Do-Over by Gordon Korman. Mason and Ty were once the very best of friends, like two nerdy sides of the same coin, until 7th grade when Ava Petrakis came along. Now Mason can trace everything bad in his life to that terrible fight they had over the new girl. The one thing he'd give anything for is a do-over, but that can't happen in real life, can it? A science kid, Mason knows do-overs are impossible, so he can't believe it when he wakes up from a freak accident and finds himself magically transported back to 7th grade. His parents aren't divorced and his beloved dog is still alive. Best of all, he and Ty haven't had their falling out yet. It makes no logical sense, but Mason is determined to use the second chance to not only save his friendship and his dog, but do other things differently, like trying out for the football team and giving new friends a chance. There is just one person he'll be avoiding at all costs. Ava. Despite his best efforts, will he be able to stop the chain of events that made his previous life implode? Alright, as always, I will be reading the first few pages. I'm standing next to the bumper cars when the first bolt of lightning splits the sky and strikes the main transformer. The explosion is like a bomb blast. I almost jumped out of my skin. Oh man, I didn't even want to come to Harvest Festival, and now I'm going to get fricasseed before my 13th birthday? A blinding shower of sparks rain down on the crowded fairgrounds as the lights blink once and wink out. The honky-tonk music from a dozen different rides and games suddenly stops as the bumper cars grind to a halt. A new sound rises, screams, howls of protest, crying babies, shouts of alarm from people stranded at the top of the Ferris wheel. It's like somebody flipped a switch, sending the fair from fun mode to full freakout in the blink of an eye. The storm came out of nowhere. Just a few minutes ago, the sky was full of stars. Now, it's pitch black. Hard to see your hand in front of your face. Howling wind rakes the midway. We get pelted with a barrage of flying dust and litter, ride tickets, napkins, wrappers, paper cups, and straws. You try to be a good kid, do your homework, follow the rules, and what do you get for it? Blown away? Something slams into the back of my head, nearly knocking me over. I wheel, expecting to see a cannonball. Surely nothing less than that would pack such a punch. Smiling up at me from the top of the ground is a pink teddy bear that must have sailed away from one of the game stalls. I reach for it, but the next gust of wind sends it tumbling away, where it's stomped to shreds by many fleeing feet. Where does everybody think they're going? There's nowhere to go. People are running, most for the exit, but some are just running because, well, that's what you do in an emergency. I catch a glimpse of faces I recognize, kids from my school. But where is she? She's the only reason I'm here, even though she's the reason I should be a million miles away. I want to call out to somebody, but what could I say and who would hear me in this commotion? Flailing legs strip each other up, and bodies go down. That's when the rain comes in, sweeping across the midway. Pelching rain. The water causes the damaged transformer to burst into flames, casting an orange glow over the pandemonium. Desperately, I fight through the panicked crowd, escaping behind a hot dog stand. There, I'm almost knee-deep in scattered buns, but at least I can breathe, free of the crush of people. Wires and cables swing dangerously overhead, sparks spurting from every connection. I wipe the rain from my eyes, nothing that, not even all that water can soften my bristly, stick-up hairline. Story of my life. Mason, comes a plea faint in the howling wind and pounding rain. I'd know that voice anywhere. I've been half dreading it, half hoping to hear it since I got to the fairgrounds. Ava Petrakis standing at the base of the tilt-a-whirl, her drenched auburn hair plastered to her scalp, hugging her light jacket around her. I run to her underneath the big ride. It's okay, this can't last long. In spite of the wildness of the storm and the danger all around, my first thought is that the two of us have never been alone together before this moment. Was it really only a month ago that Miss Alexandra introduced the new girl to our 7th grade class? With a defeating crunch, a blast of wind tears the sign off the top of the tilt-a-whirl. For an instant, the heavy metal square twirls above our heads like a piece of paper. We watch with terrified eyes. You don't have to be a science kid to know the law of gravity. What goes up must come down. Alright, so that was the first few pages of Operation Do-Over. If you were interested in this book, it will be available inside the children's collection and hitting the shelves very soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week for a new book.